You heard the buzz, you know the name. Business Connect needs no introduction. Namaskar, this is Krishna Verma, an anchor from Business Connect. We are excited to announce that our reach has expanded up to 81 countries worldwide with a readership of 16 million. Additionally, our digital platform has brought in 60 million viewers, making us one of the world's top business magazines. Our organic subscriber base on YouTube is rapidly increasing, adding 35,000 online readers every month to our portfolio. As one of the Government of India's recognized media houses, we have gained a reputation for exceptional content quality, featuring over 7,000 business leaders in more than 10,000 pages of rational content since its inception. Our magazine has earned a reputation as a leading business publication within the media industry, where we engage with and interview top business leaders, C-suite executives, up and upcoming entrepreneurs, and key decision makers across various industries. Our monthly publications have helped the overall business community, especially numerous Business Connect never fails to amaze as well as benefit the business community owing to its new age business ideas. By offering remarkable opportunities for business leaders, policymakers, educators, and entrepreneurs to come together and talk out the latest trends, strategies, and solutions for building a skilled workforce and fostering entrepreneurship worldwide. We have created an indelible presence in the market. It goes without saying that all of our events in the
Hello, and once again, very, very good morning to you all distinguished guests. I hope you're having your tea and coffee outside. I request you all to please sum it up in few minutes. We'll be starting with the main event super soon. So I request you all kindly have a seat and be seated. Thank you so much. Check. Once again, requesting to the all guests, after your coffee and tea break, we are going to have a event lineup. So requesting everyone to be present in the hall as early as possible.
In the YouTube community by consistently producing creative and informative content that never fails to amaze its viewers. Our channel's popularity is evidenced by its rapidly growing subscriber base, which is a testament to its global appeal. Our team is constantly seeking out leaders and dignitaries who can connect with our audience, and this is what drives us to conduct regular interview sessions. The impact our content has induced in the business fraternity is quite fantastic, that expanded our reach in multiple ways. Our exclusive guests who we interview come from diverse backgrounds and share insightful perspectives that can be valuable to entrepreneurs, leaders, and tycoons who want to stay up to date with the industry trends. Therefore, we encourage all trailblazers, trendsetters, and innovators to come forward and share their expertise with our adored viewers by joining our platform to contribute to our holistic growth. Thank you.
Once again, very, very good morning, everyone. Requesting all the guests to please be seated and make yourself comfortable. We will be starting with the event in next 5 minutes. I request you all to please be seated and make yourself comfortable. Once again, very, very good morning to you all. Requesting to all the dignitaries, guests, to please be seated and make yourself comfortable. We'll be starting with the event in next 2 to 5 minutes. I request you all to please have your seats. Check, test. Check, test. Check, test. Hello, and once again, very, very good morning to you all. Requesting everyone to please have your seats and make yourself comfortable. As we are moving ahead to the event, I request all the dignitaries, guests, to please have your seats and make yourself comfortable. Few guests are outside. I kindly request them to please come inside the hall as we are starting the event. I hope everyone had their tea, coffee, and refreshments. Okay, few guests are still outside the hall. I request you all to please gather at the hall and be seated. Make yourself comfortable. All right. Once again, very, very good morning to you all. It's an immense pleasure to have you all here. We cordially invite you all and warmly welcome all of you here for Business Connect 2023. Business Connect 2023, a brand of Fanzine India Group, presents Global Forum for Quality Skills and Entrepreneurship. We are here to discuss goal, strategies, and solutions. It's an immense pleasure to have all distinguished guests amongst us, and it's a pleasure standing before you all guests. Without any further ado, let us move on to the very first segment. But before that, I would request our guests to please come on the dais. I want to request all the audience who are present here to please put your hands together for each one of them. Everyone, please. I would request our guests, His Excellency Mr. Donawat Pulsawat, to please come ahead on the stage. Please put your hands together for him, everyone. Now I want to request another dignitary amongst us who's present here, Dr. Karthikeya A, to please come ahead and join us on the stage. Please put your hands together for him, everyone. Now I want to request Honorable Mr. Chandrakant Sarunkeji to please come ahead and join us on the stage. I would also request Mr. Anil Radhakrishnan to please come ahead and join us on the stage. Moving ahead, I also want to request Dr. Dilip S. Patil to please come ahead and join us on the dais. Please put your hands together for him, everyone. Also, I would request Mr. Tejwan Singh to please come ahead and join us on the stage. Sir, ke liye please जोरदार ताली होनी चाहिए, everyone. Also, we have Professor Dr. Dilip to please come ahead and join us on the stage. Sir, ke liye please जोरदार ताली, everyone. Now I want to request Mr. Omkareshwar Pandey to please come ahead and join us on the dais. I also want to request our guest, Sri Rajesh Sinha to please come ahead and join us on the dais. Can we have a huge round of applause for him, everyone? I would also request Mr. Abhishek Dubey to please come ahead and join us on the stage. I want to request our dignitaries to please felicitate our guests. I would request Abhishek sir and Mr. Omkareshwar sir to please felicitate our dignitaries. Thank you so much. Now I would request Abhishek sir and Omkareshwar sir to please felicitate Dr. Karthikeya E. Now I would request Abhishek sir and Omkareshwar sir to please felicitate Sri Rajesh Sinha. I want to request Mr. Chandrakant Sarunkeji to please come ahead. If it's in the audience, okay. Moving ahead, I would request Omkareshwar sir and Abhishek sir to please felicitate Mr. Anil Radhakrishnan ji. All right. Now I would request Abhishek sir to please felicitate Mr. Tejwan Singh Chatwalji. Thank you so much. I want to request Omkareshwar sir and Abhishek sir to please felicitate Professor Dr. Dilip ji. Thank you so much, everyone. As we are moving ahead to the next segment, I would request everyone to please stand up for 2 minutes as we are going to have a national anthem.
Jana Mana Adhinayaka Jaya He Bharat Bhagya Vidhata Punjab Sindh Gujarat Maratha Dravida Utkala Vanga Vindhya Himachala Yamuna Ganga Uchchala Jaladhi Taranga तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे भारत माता की जय.
Thank you so much, everyone. Now I would request our dignitaries and guests to please proceed ahead for the lamp lighting.
निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा.
Once again, good morning, everyone. I request all the guests who are present outside the hall, I request you all to please come inside and be seated, make yourself comfortable. It's an immense pleasure to have you all here at Business Connect 2023.
Oh
शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय.
Can we have a huge round of applause for all the dignitaries? Thank you so much all. All right, once again, welcome to all who have joined recently. Very, very good morning to you all. Business Connect 2023, a brand of Fanzine India Group, presents Global Forum for Quality Skills and Entrepreneurship. We are here to discuss goals, strategies, and solutions. Before we move on, let me introduce you to myself. I'm going to be a host for the whole day. My name is Nishagandha Kunte. It's a pleasure having you all here. As we are moving ahead to the very first segment, talking about Business Connect. Business Connect is one of the leading publications in the business world. The magazine aims to provide valuable insights and information to help business succeed in their respective industries. The magazine draws its motivation from the publisher and CEO Abhishek Kumar Dubey's vision to make a difference to the media space. Its spectacular success is credited to its experienced writers, editors, and journalists who are dedicated to delivering a high-quality content. It also provides information about the magazine's editorial process, ensuring that readers can trust the accuracy and reliability of the information they receive. In addition to its print and digital versions, Business Connect magazine also offers various online resources, including its website and social media platforms. These resources provide readers with continuous access to the magazine's content as well as additional insights and updates. For the very first segment and for the address, I would request Mr. Omkareshwar Pandey to please come ahead. Talking about him, Mr. Omkareshwar Pandey is the Chairman of Organizing Committee of the Global Forum for Quality Skills and Entrepreneurship 2023, and editorial head at Business Connect magazine. He has over 30 years of multifunctional, multi-sectoral experience while working across print, television, digital, and television news agency. He has worked as a group editor, managing editor, media head at CEO for 10 times in all major media verticals in Hindi and English both. He was senior group editor of Rashtriya Sahara, managing editor of The Sunday India magazine in 14 languages, editor of ANI, India's largest TV news agency, opening anchor of Sahara TV, to name a few. Currently, he is the CEO and editor-in-chief of Observer Global Media Group, New Delhi. Please put your hands together for Mr. Omkareshwar Pandey, everyone. I want to request him to please come ahead for the address.
Hello. Thank you, Ms. Nishigandha Suresh Kunte, for your wonderful moderation and a long introduction. Good morning, everybody. It is a pleasure to welcome you all to this Global Forum on Quality Skilling and Entrepreneurship at this beautiful hotel, Radisson Blu at Mumbai. There is a saying, without sharpening your weapon, standing on the battlefield not increase your chance of winning. And that's why we are here to talk about quality skilling. One famous Japanese writer, Shinichi Suzuki, has also said, knowledge is not a skill, knowledge plus 10,000 times makes a skill. So we are here to discuss the issue of quality skilling and entrepreneurship in a global context. With the world population growing and the economy becoming increasingly global, it is more important than ever to ensure that quality skilling and entrepreneurship are available to all. Think of Leonardo da Vinci. What would you say his skill set was? An artist, a sculptor, or a scientist? He played all these roles and more in the Renaissance area, which celebrated the amalgamation of such individual skills that blended arts and science together. Back home, think of a personality such as Satyajit Ray, a filmmaker, an author, an artist, and multiple skill sets merge into his brilliance. Are these just individual examples of geniuses where a person can be good at many things? Or can we look at developing multidisciplinary skill sets like this? How do we develop these multidisciplinary skills and why are these needed? India remains on track to becoming the third largest economy by exploiting its demographic dividend. However, conversion of the country's manpower wealth to workforce remains the biggest impediment. Skill development, alignment of academia with industry, government and policy, and also the private sector participation are some of the topics for deeper deliberations. While the infrastructure and policies have been created to realize our manpower potential, these aspects need to be reviewed every year given the dynamic world we live in. What is clear is that as technology advances, technologies and innovators have to balance multiple viewpoints. This needs more broad-based skills such as design, ethics and functional competencies among others. So where can people get started? Let's hear about from our industry, academia and policy experts who are present here on the dais and thought leaders who are present here today at this mega event. After organizing 4 mega conferences in Delhi, the Business Connect magazine, which is India's one of the leading magazines for the business community, is once again brought this global forum at Mumbai. Mr. Abhishek Dubey is the Chief Executive Officer, CEO of this magazine, founder of this magazine, and he is supported by 2 young creative directors, Mr. Ashutosh Ojha and Mr. Ashish Kumar. I would request Mr. Abhishek Dubey to stand up at least, let the people greet him. Mr. Abhishek Dubey, a big round of applause for him. So Business Connect is not just a magazine. It's an acknowledgement of the duty of being in business journalism, a forethoughtful vision to serve the community and with informative content where not only big brands, but also bargaining entrepreneurs could get coverage of their newfangled business ideas and unique perspectives. So far, every publication shared by this magazine has been injected with a booster of entrepreneurial motivation and business insights to benefit the fraternity in the best possible manner. And today, the reach of this magazine, Business Connect, marks the destination of a prosperous drive itself. Friends, the aim of this forum today is to bring together experts and stakeholders from around the world to share their views, knowledge, experiences, and ideas on how to improve quality skilling and entrepreneurship. We will focus on identifying the best practices, strategies, and policies that can be adopted in different countries in order to ensure that everyone has the opportunity to take part in meaningful skilling and entrepreneurship. So this is the first of its kind mega event on this topic. This will pave the way to future endeavor and lay a blueprint for manifesting a milestone ambitious project of quality skilling. We are going to have 3 major sessions today. The details of the program agenda have already been distributed. Let the anchor guide you from time to time during this course of this event. We are committed to making sure that everyone has access to quality skilling and entrepreneurship. We recognize that these 2 areas are inextricably linked and that both are essential for our economic growth and social development. We also recognize that it is only through collaboration and sharing of experiences that we can ensure that the best possible outcomes are achieved. We are confident that these discussions and debates at this forum will lead to meaningful action and real change in the quality of skilling and entrepreneurship. And we hope that today's discussions will lead to lasting solutions and benefit everyone from the grassroots to the global level. To begin the conference, I would like to invite a very senior academician, Dr. Dilip Nandiklior, a distinguished figure in the field of education and management, who is presently the co-chancellor at Commonwealth University at London, UK, where he has been instrumental in shaping the academic landscape. In addition to his role as co-chancellor, Dilip has also been actively involved in teaching and facilitating online management. His dedication to academias is evident in his prolific writing and numerous publications in national and international journals and books. Dilip's contribution to education and his commitment to advancing knowledge have made him a respected figure in the academic community, not only in India, but at global level. His philosophical take on this multifarious roles has been to earnestly attempting to deliver value plus. So let's welcome Professor Dr. Dilip Nandiklior. A big round of applause for him.
The dignitaries on the dais, and particularly Omkareshwar ji, thank you very much for giving me such, yes. Okay. Am I audible? Yeah. I'm sorry, I like to walk around a bit. Being an academician and in the class, some of us will know that we kind of try to drive attention this way. Another problem with some of us is we tend to go off on a tangent and we speak a lot. Having said that, first, respects to all the dignitaries on the dais and all the distinguished people who have come here. I'm here to talk about entrepreneurship, which is my favorite subject. And I personally believe that a country like India, or for that matter, most countries in Asia, and so your country as well, requires more entrepreneurs than managers. Okay. Which means we are, in other words, what I'm trying to say is that we require job givers instead of job seekers. All countries post-COVID and even before that have been suffering this thing called job losses. Job creation is limited. This is happening because technology is coming in and eating away a lot of things. But sir, with your due permission, sometimes I'll speak in Hindi. गधे और घोड़े दोनों ही मतलब सेम ही फैमिली के होते हैं, लेकिन घोड़ों के लिए जगह हमेशा होती है. Whether it is a boom or it's a glut, the good people will always be required. And that is what the world has become. The world has become a VUCA world. World has become VUCA. Let me, if you don't know, I'll just quickly say it is volatile, uncertain, complex, and requires agility of some sort. So that's the VUCA world that we are living in. And things, I mean, if you look at the industrial growth, okay, the Industrial Revolution 1 to Industrial Revolution 2 roughly took about 100 years. 2 to 3 took about 70 years, 3 to 4, 60 years, 4 to 5 is just 10 years. We are already talking of Industry 5.0, right, sir? You know, and this is happening because the technology, I mean, what we learn today becomes ancient history by tomorrow. In such a scenario, where machine is going to take over a lot many things from us and raise productivity and give human beings time to do high-level work, it requires us to be specialists first. It also requires us to be able to think more imaginatively. Right now, I mean, my generation, I'm a pretty old man, as you can see from my gray hair and, of course, absolutely white beard. In my generation, when we joined a company, we joined at the very beginning and we retired there. The owners of the company, maybe the stakeholders of the company and the employees of the company were wedded to each other. That in the next generation kind of shifted, and the moral of the story used to be a rolling stone gathers no moss. So every 4-5 years you must change if you want to rise. Today, we are hearing words like, of course, the great resignation, the quiet quit, you know, moonlighting, etc., etc. So where are we headed? The generation, you know, 82% of India, and in most cases of the world, particularly Asia, it is the millennials and the Gen Z. They have gone through, I mean, we went through a lot of shortages, etc., and uncertainty after World War II in Europe and most parts of the world. In India, after independence, we went through a lot of shortages, jobs were not available, and if we got it, we stuck to it, etc., etc. Today, they don't want all that. So what's coming in? We already have, you know, people wanting to work from home, and that is one of the major reasons for great resignation. There are countries, I think including Thailand, there are countries who are now issuing visas for digital nomads or net nomads. These are workers who use technology and they don't stay in one place. Okay. In fact, I was very happy to read that even in Goa has already made a request to the authorities, the central government, to issue visas, and Goa will provide all that is necessary. Now, in a situation like this coming up, we, whether it is government, whether it's NGOs, whether it's private sector, we really need to turn things on its head and think of introducing a few things in, again, now I'm coming back to the curriculum, introducing a few things in our curriculum. The first thing I have been advocating the world over and in my university, the one thing that machines will never, ever have is something known as empathy. No, sir, the brain can be cloned now. In fact, who is this? Elon Musk. He's already trying to do something with the brain. He's also already fiddling with us. But this dil ki baat jo hai na, that we will retain at least for the next 100 years. Our next 2 generations or maybe 3. So that machines will never, ever be able to be creative. Okay, because it has to be programmed and it will perform that at a speed 10x, 100x, I don't know how many x's more than us. Of course, I don't mean the 3x. That's for something else. Okay, so given that kind of a situation, I believe empathy should be injected even when we are teaching maths, even when we are teaching all the STEM subjects. We need to embed that. None of us, and this is the first lesson in entrepreneurship, which I'll come to later. The next one that needs to be embedded is real creative thinking, where unusual answers must come. Okay. Out of the ordinary answers, if they don't come, then, I mean, look at maybe, let's go back thousands of years. Every growth, every progress that has happened when People said the earth was a square and somebody says, no, it's round. It was a path-breaking thing. So that's the next step that needs to be established, and it should be established through education. Okay. Third, now getting to some technicals, with this coming of the latest Chat GPT, just about everything can be done in a matter of minutes. And therefore, at least in higher education, there has to be a paper. Again, academicians are resisting this thing called Chat GPT. They can't allow, and I am quite the other way around, because there is no harm in removing drudgery. Okay. I need to write a research paper. How do I do it? First, I do some kind of course, I have some idea, and then I go around searching for what has already been done, which is what is known as literature survey.
Sorry to interrupt, sir. I would request
Just
to
a sec.
please finish it up in 3 minutes.
A literature survey. Okay. And that would take me, maybe I'll need to read 100, 125 papers before I can come up with the 25 that I can use. Chat GPT can do it in matter of minutes. So why not remove the drudgery? These are 3 things I would. Of course, there was a presentation. This is available, so those who want can take it from them. I'll just come to, these are the 3 skills, or rather 6 skills, that are really required for doing anything. Technical expertise, as I said, the days when you can be jack of many, many trades, I might differ from Omkareshwarji a little bit. You have to be a master. You have to be the bloody best. Okay. The other one is research and analysis, and the third one is understanding finance. Those are the other things that we need to do. Now, just to end it, this is where it is. It's about the just to end it, I have a way to define, let's say, a literate, a highly literate, let's say, masters, and a highly educated master. What's the difference? I'll just define it and then I'll close. A literate person is one who knows all the principles and everything and can even apply it. The educated, like I'm from the management, so educated MBA is one who does these 2 things and then has 3 more things. First, he has the humility or to learn from any source, or rather first is the curiosity, then the humility to learn from any source. Just that I'm a professor or I'm something, I may not be the only one. There might be an office boy who might be able to tell you things. And having done this, he must have the gumption to challenge the status quo. To me, those 5 things are actual education, and those are exactly the 5 things that we need to develop in entrepreneurs. So you don't need a degree, you don't need anything, if you have these 5 things. But I end with this entrepreneurial mindset. Okay. This needs to be promoted particularly in developing countries or underdeveloped countries where we want to go for safe jobs. So what happens is that one way of, the final comment, one way of determining this is how the society is behaving is when you have a daughter and you want to fix a marriage. Okay. If he is an entrepreneur, you don't have only second thoughts, you might have your 10th thought. But if he is a government officer, then the dowry comes in. We need to change that. And that can be done by the politicians, that can be done by religious leaders, that can be done by NGOs. if they don't work towards this, then no amount of skilling will ever work. With those comments, thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. As we are moving ahead, we also have another dignitary amongst us, Dr. Dilip S. Patilji. I would request him to please come ahead on the dais. Please put your hands together for him, everyone. I want to request Abhishek sir to please felicitate Dr. Dilip Patilji. Thank you so much. Now I would request Mr. Omkareshwar Pandeyji to please come ahead on the dais.
And without any further delay, I would like to invite a very brilliant person who has especially flown from UK to India on my request and also on the request of Honorable Mr. Kartikeya Anand. I would like to invite Mr. Tejwan Singh Chatwal, the Global Head of UK Skills Limited, situated in Hatton Garden, London. He holds the distinguished position of Founder Trustee since the establishment of the organization in December 2014. UK Skills Limited is a non-profit company dedicated to the advancement, procurement and utilization of educational resources. As a facilitator, UK Skills leverages the best practices, top quality educational resources and innovative systems from UK to foster development in India. Their primary focus lies in supporting the training, education and growth of communities worldwide through e-assessment, e-learning and faculty institution management. A big round of applause for Mr. Tejwan Singh Chatwal.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you very much, Mr. Pandey. Don't believe in what he said. That's all not true. That's my past. Past is over and out. We all have to live in the present. Until and unless we guys are not in our present, there's no use. So rather than making I speak and you listen, I would prefer, because my introduction was so long, I think so I have a time slot limited, just not more than 7 or 10 minutes at the most. I would prefer you to ask me a question. Otherwise, I can go on for hours and hours and nothing would end. Anybody has any kind of a question on skill, because we talk about skills. How many of you really understand what skills is? Mr. Pandey asked me this morning, and I'm giving you a clue to ask me a question. Are you ready? I said, I'm always ready. And this is my dress. If I'm in skills, it has to be this t-shirt, not in your suits and your trousers. How many of you, if I ask you to do an exercise out here, can do an exercise out here? Jaisa desh, vaisa bhesh. Guys, if you really want to improve the skills in this country, change yourself before we ask anybody else to change. It's difficult, but the change is the key. If there's no change, there's no skills. We can go and talk, keep on talking about it. I remember to be part of the skills many, many years back. The first skill documentation when I was part of the National Knowledge Commission was written by me. It's been torn, separated, and still our country is nowhere. In CII, Prahlad said, we would be the world leaders by 2025. I'm sorry to say that we have missed that bus of 2025. Now it has gone to 2032. We are the ones to be blamed. Are you willing to blame yourself? I blame myself. I came to this country to give my best, but sad and sorry, I have not been able to achieve. What does skills require? Any questions, please? I think so. मैंने काफी आग लगा दी आपके अंदर. Any questions? No use sitting out here if you don't ask me questions. I'm not doing justice to invite of Mr. Pandey. No. How do you identify? How do you decide whom to skill? Somebody said, good. What is good? Look at the weakest link. Until and unless you want this country to progress, we might be whatever trillions or whatever it is. Today, US, any country would go down if you do not cater to your human resources.
I have a basic question of a
Sir.
layman. Because you were asking. So, everybody is, thinking that education is a kind of a skilling, and that's how the people have been, getting educated. So, but nowadays the economy is, fostering in a various manner, and a lot of new things are coming up, and new technologies, new ways of, businesses. So, what is a skill in today's context? How do you judge a skill, that if a person is skilled or not? I'm educated, I'm MBA, I'm doctorate, I have gathered so many, qualifications. So how do you judge me whether I am skilled or not?
Fantastic good question, Mr. Pandey, and that is what I was going to address today. He's read my mind. I've just met him for a few minutes. I've spoken to him a couple of minutes over the phone. You've asked what I would be really going to tell each one of you. Skill can only be one, just one, but what is that one you have? And the key is critical and creative thinking. Critical and creative thinking. If you do not have critical and creative thinking, which is the left brain and the right brain, you can use, Bhagwan, why did God give you two hands? How many of you in this room can use both hands? And if you can't use your both hands, then you don't have skill. Basic, common sense. God should have given us midway, kaat deta beech mein se. How many of us can use left hand? How many of us can use both hands or right hand only? Both hands, only one, two. Let's give them a piece of paper and ask them to write. Yeah, do it. And if you can't do it, start doing it right now. Start practicing it. Hands, fingers are dexterity. If your hands don't work, kinesthetic, body. How many mothers are here in this room? Can your skills and mothers? Oh, many. Okay. What was the first thing when your child was born? Can you remember? Can you remember your child? Where was he holding you from? I've given you a clue. What did he possess? And that's a God-gifted skill. Please understand that, my dear friend. And we all are killing that God-gifted skill. We talk about skilling people. जो भगवान आपको देता है, you have killed that skill. Do you know which is that skill? It is kinesthetic, body language. When the child is born, he is born not crying. He's moving his body. He's moving his legs and hands. What have you done to that? The child is born creative. The child is born critical with critical thinking. Have we not killed it? Thank you, Karthikeyan. You got my daughter out here. Learn from this child. I have spent most of my this morning with her. How many of us spend time with the child? That's the real skill. We say every child is a father of a man. How many of us really do believe in that? Do we follow that skill? बातें करनी बहुत आसान है. Sorry guys, Tejwant is like this. I speak from my heart. Right? Now Mr. Pandey's question. Anybody else? Now we all talk about it. How do you identify? Mr. Pandey was asking me, how do we identify the real skill is it? And the best thing is SKILL. Right? That's the meaning. That's the word the skill is. And we define skills in different ways. And what I, from a scholar from a Stanford University, what I learned what skill is, the first alphabet S stands for spatial. Spatial. Spatial means creativity. And there are 4 elements to it. Awareness. Right? Awareness is the key. Until and unless the child does not possesses, the learner doesn't possesses, or an adult, we do not possess the awareness. How can we be successful? That is the first key. The second element is designing, creative thinking. Everybody has to think about it. To come to the 11th floor, you still require a design. Come by the lift, come by the steps, come by anything, elevators, anything you want to. Right? Third is the working with the objects. How many of you work with the objects? How many prefer to use tools? Tools are the key. And these are the various tools. And the last, when you talk about this, creative thinking. How many did we last use our creative thinking? How many did we buy our spouses a beautiful sari with our creativity? Or anything for her. You don't even spend time with your members. You don't even buy a creative thinking gift for your wife or your husband. Ask yourself. And हम चले हैं दूसरों को skill set देने. Sorry, I'm being blunt. I'm showing you the mirror, guys. That's the reason we are failing. Next is K, kinesthetic, which means body language. What are the elements? How many of you really walk daily? How many? Just raise your hands. Sharam mat karo. That's all. Percentage, not even 10%. How can you work when somebody asks you to work for long hours? Tange dard ho rahi hain. My legs are paining. My feet are paining. I want a body massage. Why do you require a body massage? Thailand business will go to hell if we Indians don't go to Thailand for body massage. Sorry, sir. But that's the truth. Right? Then is the dexterity. How many of you use your fingers for doing something? Ungli deni aati hai. Right? Dikhani aati hai. But how many are you using your fingers? That's the key. As a skill set. Third is the, how many of really feel like dancing? One. Ab dekha hai. Okay, another 10% only. That's the key. For any skill set, for any being successful in any, that's what the, somebody, and that's my work is. I work for the ILO, I'm a consultant to them in deciding for blue collar jobs for the European market. And some of these plumbers, the welders, if they do not possess all these skills, they can't be successful. Please understand that. And these are the identification, the early ages. If you don't identify them, you can't group them into a better or a good or the best welder or a plumber or electrician, whatever you might call them as. And the last is, in the kinesthetic, flexibility. How flexible are you? Flexibility is the key. Right? Then is the intrapersonal, I. S I've done, K, I. Intra. Thinking within yourself, self-knowledge, personal knowledge. What knowledge do I possess? How many of you really know your self-knowledge? Raise your hands. None. Feeling shy. That's the key. It should be that. And when you know your personal knowledge, means you know what your strengths are. And when somebody knows what my strengths are, I can do wonders in life. Sub-strands of intrapersonal is as I've already said, the first one is my personal knowledge. Second is how quickly can I calculate stuff. Calculations mentally. Somebody has to come to me and ask me this particular signage, how much would I make it? I'll calculate the measurements and I'll do it and I'll say 32 rupees square feet, but total measurement, what? Multiplication. the simple maths skill set. A speaker before me was talking about financial literacy. In financial literacy, there are 4 things which are very important. It's plus, minus, division, and multiplication. How many of us we can do these 4 things without a calculator? We are talking about banking. Simple financial literacy. How much India has invested on mathematics? We call ourselves maths leaders. Arya, but we said we invented zero. But where are we in today in maths? School maths is terribly bad today.
Zero. We are today 0.
Yeah. So that's where we have to start, my guys. And then is spatial problem solving. Creativity, while doing it, you solve the problems like this. Problem solving is another major key. In maths, if you can't solve problem solving, how many of you can come into us resolve a problem solving? Very difficult. We'll ask each other's help. And the last is effectiveness. When you're doing all these things, how effective are you in that particular strand? Linguistic, language. Language can be Hindi, any language. It's not important to be having an English knowledge all the time. Linguistic means any language. Hindi, Sanskrit, Tamil, Telugu, any language. And what it has come is expressive. You have to be. Communication skills he was talking about. We talk about soft skills, we talk about foundation and fundamental skills, but we don't tell the learner what kind of we want you to learn, what you to be good at. So it has to be expressive. I'm sure any of you a speaker would be successful in life. Second is rhetorical. Rhetorical means you're able to prove your point. Nele pe dalani marna. You have to view, your point should be acceptable to one and all. Third is reading and writing. When you are doing on a floor job, every manager expects, every supervisor expects to give me a written and writing report, what you did, what job you did, handing over, taking over. How many factories or companies do have that system today in place of handing over and taking over jobs on a daily basis? And when I did a research in India, not even 3% companies are doing it. Not only 3%. Handing over and taking over, which is a basic, simple task to be done. What you did, what I'm going to do, what I'm going to do tomorrow. Simple. And what is my team member is going to follow from me? Simple things, we are not following it. And the last is the decision making, the clarity of thoughts in making a decision. Irrespective, right or wrong, let the future tell you. And the last is the logical. That's the last L, right? Which comes to the everyday math, which I've talked about. Logical, that means logically means, has anybody gone to theater? Like let's look at this program. They have a program sheet. There's a logic, number 1, number 2, number 3. You have to follow a sequence of methodologies of doing things. And the last is, and the most important, which time and again we talk about, is the problem solving. Friends, that's where I would like to end. Start planning your short-term, medium-term, and long-term goals. Until and unless you don't plan those, and nobody else, no policy maker can come and tell you, it's you have to decide it. And when you decide all these things, please understand 2 major things is that how and why are you doing this? And if you're able to address to how and why question, I hope the industry, the field will be much, much better what it is today. God bless you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tejwan Singh Chatwalji. You rightly said flexibility is required, and that also important because Tony Bhujan has says, learning how to learn is life's most important skill. We do not know how to learn. So learning how to learn is that most important skill. And now I would like to invite a very distinguished academician, Professor Dr. Dilip Patil, He is a former professor and director, Lifelong Learning and Extension, University of Mumbai. He was principal of St. Joseph College, Virar for 3 years and assistant professor St. Gonzalo Garcia College, Vasai. He is author of 20 books on the rural development, and 15 students have completed PhD under him. And he is also having, the Best Teachers Award in 2003. He has a 40 years long experience in the working in the tribal areas and rural areas. He is also the director of Community Development Society USA, representing Asia. I would like to invite Dr. Dilip Patil, former professor and director, Lifelong Learning and Extension, University of Mumbai. A big round of applause for him. Professor Patil.
Dhanyavad. Which language you prefer? Nation language, state language, or international language? National language, Hindi. Okay. But there are my few brothers and sisters from Thailand. So I prefer Hindi, English, both. And naturally my mother tongue is Marathi. I'm proud of that because it's a state language. I seen my another Dilip speech. Is a big person in management, and now my other colleague, they explained about the theories and so many things. As I am not a theoretical person, even though professor, I am a field-oriented person. My subject is rural development, and my books are villages. My pages are farmers, youth, women, children. These are my pages in my books. I read them, I explain them, they explained me, they taught me, and then we implemented. As a sir told about I work in a rural college for 15 years, then principal, and then director of University of Mumbai. And for the information, Mumbai University for 7 districts from Goa border to Gujarat border. Mumbai University, not only for Mumbai city. There are Mumbai University students at Jawar Mokhada in Palghar district don't have chappal in their feet. This is the university students. If you want to take admission in international language, $1 is enough to take admission for degree course. $1 in distance education. And as a lifelong learning and extension, I'm not giving any theory, because even though I'm having 20 books and around various conferences and 15 countries I visited, until now 6 also I'm going to Portland University. And on commodity development, whatever my knowledge are based on my practical experience and solutions. When we are talking about entrepreneurship, skill development, as a student of economics, rural development, I feel India is not an agriculture economy country. It's a skill-oriented country. You can go back 2,000 years, 2,000 years, 3,000 years, Shushrut. Without chloroform, brain operation, right? That time, what other countries are doing? That is skill in our hand. हम लोग उनके ही वंशज है. स्किल हमारे ब्लड में है. It is not needed to teach skill to us, not needed to teach entrepreneurship to us. Our product goes to everywhere in the world. Even now also, as I am having one Gauki NGO, you seen on railway platform, there is a one product, one stall. You seen on railway platform? Few platform, we took it. Because of a central government policy, very good policy they implemented, and that is a stall for 15 days, and the self-help group from the slums from Mumbai city, they are the salesmen. And where we are taking product from the rural self-help group, the group of women, they are doing that product, and we are purchasing from that, and no loss, no profit we are giving to these women. I don't know which policy. Which theory? It is good to say big words, but when it comes to practical, it's very difficult. So these are the Gaukis, 15 days, one product at one railway station. We have to help because of self-help group. That is their product. हम लोग बोलते हैं कि environment बहुत heat हो गया, बहुत difficult है, problem है. लेकिन कितने जन ने हम लोग ने अभी आम खाए, आम की जो गुठली रहती है वो जमा करके बाहर गांव में डालिए, कचरे में डालिए. Again we are saying we don't have to right to say like this. तो ऐसे ही इम्प्लीमेंट करने के लिए मेरे जो स्टूडेंट्स है 15 years I got a directorship in Mumbai University sitting at Churchgate, implemented financial literacy and computer literacy for these 800 colleges. Around 35,000 students took affiliated with the Department of Lifelong Learning Extension. One student, because entrepreneurship and all these additional courses along with their degrees we implemented in Mumbai colleges also. So last 15 years we are doing that. Training of entrepreneurship. It is not needed to pay lakhs of rupees and take admission in 5-star college and then you will get a big degree. Then you will become a big person, big manager. Not needed. One boy from 13th standard, he gave me call from the Malvan. Malvan is near in Sindhudurga district. Those who are Marathi, they know where is the Malvan, on the Goa road. And they are having in every February, they are having Bharadi Devi Yatra. Big Jatra, around 8 to 10 lakhs people are attending that. So they are asking me, sir, what type of business we can do it? A student of arts faculty, not allowed to take admission for management because they don't have 45% in 12th. And they are doing good business. These are the facts. So that boy called me. So then group of people, they come together and they took a contract, tender for the parking of cars. The one small poor boy gave me call and told me, sir, मेरे पास पैसा नहीं है. तो क्या करूं? मुझे बिजनेस करना है. उसको सेलिंग कॉस्ट, परचेस कॉस्ट, ये सब कुछ मालूम नहीं है, प्रॉफिट कॉस्ट कुछ मालूम नहीं, लेकिन बिजनेस करना है. 12th आर्ट्स पास हो गया है एंड बिलो पॉवर्टी लाइन फैमिली. तो बोला बिजनेस करना है. तो क्या बिजनेस करना है? मैं बोला आजू बाजू में क्या है तेरा फेब्रुवरी में? तो बोला वाटर मिलन फार्म्स बहुत है. तो बोला 10 लाख लोग आएंगे, 1 लाख लोग तो वाटर मिलन खाएंगे. तो यू स्टार्ट वाटर मिलन. तो बोला सर 10 स्टॉल्स है. बोला डोंट वरी अबाउट अदर्स. When you see jewelry shop, there are 10 jewelry shop in together. How they survive? मैं बोला तू 12th हो गया है, बाकी के 12th नहीं है, तो तू एक टेबल ले, टेबल के ऊपर व्हाइट बेडशीट लगा और तेरे रिलेटिव से 10 वाटरमेलन परचेस कर ऑन क्रेडिट. Your this presentation should look good. So उसने वैसा किया, कैप डाला व्हाइट और टेबल रखा, स्लाइस कट किया वाटरमेलन के, उसको कवर किया और एट द एंड ऑफ द डे ही गेव मी कॉल, सर मैंने 500 रुपया नेट प्रॉफिट कमाया. दिस इज एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप, प्रैक्टिकल एक्सपीरियंस. So now after retirement I am receiving phone call from around 100 to 150 students of arts faculty, not a science, not a commerce. And they told me, sir, because of you, we started our small business. तो ये बिजनेस हम लोग करते हैं तो हमसे ज़्यादा हमारे पेरेंट्स खुश होते हैं, बिकॉज हमारा बच्चा हमारे ही घर में रहता है और घर के पीछे जो कैश्यूनट है बाकी है उसको प्रोसेसिंग कर रहा है और वो प्रोडक्ट बेच रहा है. डोंट यू थिंक दिस इज अ एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप? बट वी हैव टू गिव सपोर्ट. हम लोग क्या करते हैं, नहीं बच्चों को मैनेजमेंट करना है, ओके, गुड इंस्टीट्यूट्स आर देयर, मैक्सिमम फीस आर देयर. I know because I am on the committee of various colleges and like that. बिल्डिंग और शोज जो देखने से एजुकेशन नहीं अच्छा होता है. सो दैट्स वाई उन्होंने इतने प्रोडक्ट निकाले, जामुन के आइसक्रीम निकाले हैं. वेंगुर्ला का बच्चा ने वो स्टार्ट किया सैपलिंग्स नर्सरी, कैशूनट का प्लांट, और नाउ ही इज ए एक्सपोर्टर. So like this, I am having plenty of examples and I am initiating them. a good network is there of around 40,000 students. Now in today's world, how much money in your pocket is not important. How much networking contacts with you is more important, right? So I presented here because day before yesterday, Omkareshwar gave me a call. So I told him, what is use of mine here? Even though I attended on 6, I'm leaving to Seattle because Portland University invited me for the conference. Because whatever I'm saying, nothing, no theory, practical, give examples, show us. And everywhere I am saying that, no, we are the best in world. That examples, plenty examples are there. Because of time limit, I end up here. Please contact me anytime, 24/7. Dr. Dilip Patil, you can Google it or collect my number. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Dilip Patil, for your live experiences about skilling and how you're working in the entrepreneurship areas. Now we have a special guest joining from Delhi. I would ask my technical team to kindly show him on the screen. Mr. Suvir Mishra, he is the Commissioner of Income Tax. He is an IRS officer, Indian Revenue Service. And on the LinkedIn, if you go on his LinkedIn, he will describe himself as the AI practitioner and technology seeder in the governance, giving us a glimpse into his progressive outlook and leadership vision. With a distinguished career in the Indian Customs, Central Excise and GST Service, he has served in various roles as a tax administrator and enforcer. Mr. Misra's expertise lies in the realm of e-governance, particularly his contributions in projects such as ICERT, IceGate and ECCS during his tenure at the Directorate General of Systems and Data Management. Notably, he played a pivotal role in the successful implementation of the first certifying authority for the Government of India back in 2005. He walks the talk when he comes to continued learning and development. Throughout his career, Mr. Suvir Mishra has honed his skills in programming languages like Java, C++, and Python, etc., and leveraging them to develop various applications, including Android applications using TensorFlow for GST. His comprehensive knowledge and expertise in both AI and artificial intelligence and taxation make him a valuable asset in driving digital transformation and efficient governance. A big round of applause for Mr. Suvir Mishra, CGST Commissioner, Mumbai. Welcome, Mr. Suvir Mishra. Now you can start your deliberation. Can you hear Mr. Suvir Mishra? The technical team, please see if his sound is there. And show him on the full screen, please. It's okay, it will show on the full screen. Yeah, can you hear Mr. Suvir Mishra? Yes, now you are audible. Please be a little louder. Yes, please go ahead, sir.
E-governance models for a long period of time. important aspect of the Indian economy. Entrepreneurship actually involves taking high risks. Risks are always there in the businesses, but entrepreneurship especially requires high risk because there is uncertainty which is involved in innovative but untested business models. I'm sure everyone is aware that good innovative ideas do not automatically turn into good business models. New business models have risks only because of the uncertainty involved in it. Then what exactly is the government's role in developing and enabling entrepreneurship? Government's role is there in developing the ecosystem, definitely. It's already there. Government is already involved in infrastructures like etc. Good thing is, does this address all the risks involved in entrepreneurship? Apart from the ecosystems, apart from the infrastructure and regulatory frameworks, we require that the government should also undertake various risk mitigation measures. And one of the most important risk mitigation, the risk involved is the question of availability of sufficient skills in the human resources. Risk can be mitigated regarding these paucity in the human resources by understanding why is it that there is such a low dissemination of ideas such as the acceptability of hydrogen fuel cells or the understanding of the ChatGPT models which involves reinforcement learning through human feedback models. When it comes to the projections regarding the AI and machine language job, all over the world, there are supposed to be 69 million jobs available. Question is, are we available for such jobs? My take is that the government's role should be to strictly intervene in this regard. The government must subsidize all AI and machine language related courses to certain incentives such as not levying any taxes on institutions which run such courses involving Python or let's say any courses involving machine learning. I remember that back in the 90s, the first revolution which came in the human resources in the IT sector was when in every lanes and every small colonies, there were courses of Java and C++ which were being run by small outfits. That is what exactly I want. That in the future, all small lanes and small houses should be running courses on AI and machine language so that we can be equipped to capture the 69 million jobs, at least a part of the 69 million jobs that would be ready in the future. So with this, I can only, I will not take much of the time, but my suggestion would be that we should be very seriously looking into the question of educating our youth, not only youth, but also the existing workforce in machine language, machine learning, skill sets. They involve some efforts to learn various languages, understand the framework of the AI ML, and the framework of TensorFlow and various other modules which are available for the development of the models, which are certainly going to take away a number of jobs. I'm sure that everyone is aware that Microsoft itself has been saying that the office jobs are going to be taken away in the near future. And that's why they are pushing their BI tools. So with that, I would suggest that government should be seriously looking into subsidizing these courses and enabling learning of such languages and models by our youth as well as existing workforce, so that it is ready to garner the jobs which are going to be available in the future. Thank you, and with this I hand over the proceedings to Shivakarji.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir, for taking out your precious time from Delhi and joining us for this conference and your wonderful deliberations. Thanks a lot to you. Thank you very much, sir. Now I would like to invite Mr. Anil Radhakrishnan. He is a Director of Essex Supply Chain Solutions and Advisor of Temasek Investments, Mumbai. Mr. Anil, with an extensive 29-year career, he has demonstrated remarkable expertise as a business leader. Throughout his journey, he has excelled in demanding roles and achieved notable turnarounds. Presently, Mr. Radhakrishnan is fully committed to fostering the development of startups that integrate digital and technological advancements with traditional business models within the supply chain and logistics sector. He adds value to rapidly growing companies by serving on their boards of providing advisory services. With a deep conviction in the industry's dynamic and exponential growth phase, Mr. Radhakrishnan actively contributes to the captivating transformations underway. A big round of applause for Mr. Radhakrishnan. Please welcome him.
Good afternoon. I think I'm the first one who can say good afternoon. And it's really, first let me thank Sri Omkar ji and Business Connect magazine for giving me this platform. See, you had a very exciting sessions from the professors and also Mr. Tejwan Singh. I'll try to justify for being here. To give you a just brief about my experience, I've been born and brought up in multinational companies, running large billion-dollar organizations, where I could learn the importance of being process-oriented, the importance of corporate governance. Then I worked with a large Indian conglomerate. I was the CEO for Adani Group, wherein you need to have the ground rules. You need to be very quick, very dynamic, very flexible. And last 5 years, I'm in a different journey of building companies and also helping startups and mentoring mainly startups in digital, in consumer industry, and also in robotics and few other areas. So what I would like to share with you is my on-the-job experience. Because when you are a professional, the way you engage with the business and the way you look at the business is different. And when you groom a startup, or mainly on the entrepreneurship, you call it startup, it's a new word, but it has been there for ages. We have been building a business. So I would like to share some of my insights, mostly the intrinsic insights, the internal factors. I'm not touching about the external factors of government policies and all, because I always believe you manage what you can control the best, and then the results will come. So there are few things which I've learned. I'll share with you. One, you need to have a very clear, deep understanding of the value proposition which you are going to give to the customers. Because I have worked with few startups from IIT, startups from elsewhere. After a few years, there are certain startups which get into a failure mode. You know why? Because theoretically you feel there is a problem, I need to solve this problem. But have you asked the real users of this problem whether they need the solution? Because you should have a clear value proposition, what customer wants, rather than assuming this is what customer needs. So that is the first thing, because that is clearly what is very important when you start any new venture. The second one is the customer. Because we always think I'll bring in solutions, I will build product, I will build my process, but you're doing for whom? So you need to have a very clear customer acquisition plan. And more important is the customer retention plan. What is the kind of customer experience which you are providing? How can you keep the customer with you? That is very important. And the third one is, and the most important, and this is one reason why most of the startups fail, also choose the right founders and the right partners and the right team. Because if you can, see, when you're building or when you're giving birth to a startup, you are in a lot of excitement. Then at that point, you won't give much importance to select the right people, because you just want to get it started. You are in that speed mode and you will get, okay, you come, let us do it. No, please, take a pause and see whether your partners, your co-founders are complementary, because that is going to be very important for you. That is the fourth one. Have all your KPIs, the key metrics of measurement, it has to be very visible, because I always believe what can't be measured goes under the carpet. So make sure whatever best possible, all your key parameters, be it the revenue growth, be it customer acquisition cost or customer lifetime value, all these different parameters which you have, which is relevant to your industry, please make sure that KPIs are well built. And the key is profitability, because since I'm sitting in the board of the investment companies, one thing which I want to tell you today, gone are the days when you can sell some ideas and then sell the dreams. You have to show them where the money is. How is the profitability going to come? How you make your proof of concept, and when you will be able to generate cash for yourself, because it's going to be very important. And the fourth one is funding and the investment strategy. Fifth one. The funding and investment strategy, why I'm saying it is important is because don't just go for, I need a seed round, because everybody is going seed A, seed B, series A, series B. You don't need to go with that. Equity is very important. Hold the equity as long as it's possible. So go for funding when is this really needed. Whether you want to grow, whether you want to go organic, whether you want to go inorganic. Understand what is needed for your company's growth strategy and then go for this investment mode. And few other things, definitely you need to remain agile and flexible, because certain times the value proposition which you started with and along the journey, it may change. So keep that flexibility, keep that nimbleness. And another more important factor is, because for me, to share my experience from a very well-set multinational or a large conglomerate, moving into a startup was a very, sort of a orbit shift. So these kind of periods when you start your entrepreneurship mode or when you start this founding, your mental and physical balance has to be very taken care, because that is very important, because how you take care of that so-called work-life balance, that is going to be very important. In that, I'll just share two thoughts with you, which I feel it can add value in your life. There is something called zone of excellence and zone of genius. Zone of excellence means these are the areas where you are excellent and you do the job very well. But then there are other areas where you are uniquely good, but you also get the motivation when you do that. So try whether you can reduce the work in your zone of excellence and move to zone of genius, because that will really help you to get the maximum out of yourself. And wherever the zone of excellence, where you, if you want, get the right people on board, outsource it, get the right people, and you focus in areas where the zone of genius. How you can identify the zone of genius and excellence is, you can have an energy audit. It's nothing very complex. You just see what gives you the maximum energy. I have time left, or? Oh, okay. So I think we are pressed for time. And yeah, you can just chat with me. I'll be here for some time. And just before I wind up, I just need to, I like to share something with you. See, knowledge, the information that tomato is a fruit, that's a knowledge. But wisdom is not to put tomato in the fruit salad. Entrepreneurship is that. Have the wisdom to choose what is right in your fruit salad and do it well, do it consistently well, and make it sustainable. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Anil Radhakrishnan ji. Friends, we have two very important guests here on the dais, which I could not introduce them, and I was also keeping them for surprise to you all. Mr. Dr. Karthike Anand, he has especially come from Andhra Pradesh, is senior IAS officer and OSD to Minister of Finance and his skill development. He is sitting here. He is the keynote address today, Mr. Dr. Karthike Anand. A big round of applause for Dr. Karthike Anand. We also have a very distinguished guest, our guest of honor today, His Excellency Mr. Donawat Pul Sawat, Councillor General of Royal Thai Consulate General. He has especially come for this program. Mr. Donawat, Excellency. Before inviting these two dignitaries to deliver their views, I would like to invite another important dignitary, Mr. Rajesh Sinha. He was the former CEO and MD of NCDEX E-Marketing Limited and the Beam, and he is also the director of Sahyadi Farms. He has a lot of experience in the agriculture, farming and related issues. So I would like to invite Shri Rajesh Sinha ji.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much to Mr. Omkareshwar Singh ji for inviting me here, and to Business Connect. And special thanks to all the audience who has spared their time to be here. I won't take a lot of time. So some very, very important pieces, like I come from Bihar, that's my native. And I have studied in 5 different states, including Andhra Pradesh, Rajasthan, Gujarat. My father was in army, and I had 0 experience in entrepreneurship. So some of the things that I would like to share here is, NCDEX E-Markets is the entity which pioneered something called One State, One Market, Karnataka model, which was adapted by Government of India as something we known as E-National Agriculture Markets. We created the proof of concept, which was adapted. And today, if you look at how a job gets created, it's essentially not so much about what we were. I've said that in a very, very brief piece what I did. But what fueled an entrepreneurship is the passion to see, that solution for farmer does not lie with him per se. A farmer is a producer. So when I say farmer, I'm not really talking about somebody who just farms on the land. He could be an aquaculture guy, he could be farming in ocean, river, poultry farmer. So agriculture in general, as defined in US, it includes everything where you are a primary producer. To that extent, if you extend it a little bit, even a mining comes into that primary production. Now, some of the key insights, so how to, what to take. When you look at commodity exchanges per se, there are 4 right now. Now they are stock exchanges. Not very long ago, we had 2 different regulators. Now they are merged into one. So when you look at them, they are at the apex. They discover prices. They look at future. An immediate price that you see, and today, we have seen inflation of commodity prices. Now we are seeing even deflation in basic agriculture commodity prices, and it's going to go down as we further speak. Prices of wheat was not in the hands of farmers or edible oil. Something happened in Ukraine, it came to us. I won't talk so much. You might be seeing that this is a very, very different stance, but let me come back and synthesize what is extremely important for entrepreneurship or skill. So skill, these are honorable experts on the dais. I'm sure I don't have much experience as compared to them, but let me, within the limited experience and knowledge I had, let me share those with you. So first I would say customers, yes, it's important. So when you start, whether it's Godrej or whether it was Tata's or whether it was Reliance, they all started with commodity trading. They were trading either cotton or vegetable fats. So was the case with Wipro. They all started trading edible oils. What are they doing today? They are all conglomerates. So did they get attached to their products? Answer is no. Godrej started trading in vegetable fats. Wipro started with that. Tata started with that. Today they are conglomerates. So how did they grow? They looked at customers. Yes, we all have a passion to the idea. So from customer, look at repeat customer. So everything that you go to the market with, you would have customer, but if you can find a solution that customer becomes a repeat customer, and if that customer becomes your ambassador, and that's the core to a B2B marketplace which does not build a brand. Second, system to ecosystem. We have been talking about system and processes, and we had Dr. Dilip right in the beginning talking about how revolutions, have, now it has come down to 10 years. I would say it would be in possibly not even in years, but much lesser. So generations which we used to talk about initially 30 years, then 20 years, and now I don't think, my son is 21 years, he is studying in US right now. But what he talks about is about AI. So managers and MBAs, I am told, are already outdated. Nobody, if you are a generalist now, you don't have much place. Okay. So why it's important to go from system to ecosystem? We have seen software development programs, managers, we just talked about no coding, now we are talking about generative AI. Essentially, we are coming back to an ecosystem. It means it's a mutually recalibrating set of partners which would fuel your profitable growth. So it's no longer required that you just be a developer or something. You need to develop your own ecosystem. Create your own world. If you're an entrepreneur, slowly create your own world. Surround yourself with a set of entities who are high performing and they contribute something to you as well. Then the one I will say, growth to profitable growth. Last couple of years, so-called funding winters, you're still finding people who are actually, getting funded. But while growth is important, to have a profitable growth is important. And core to that is, there is a customer value proposition that you bring. There are only 2 value propositions that will give you money. Either you reduce cost of the customer or you increase income of the customer. Either ways, when there is a saving of 100 rupees, I would say maybe you as a service provider or a product seller might end up getting 1 rupee out of it. And that should be big enough reward for you. So while you look for a customer value proposition, look for your firm value proposition. What is it that your firm is going to make? So when I am saying, as an illustration, if 100 rupees is what you are going to save the customer or make that extra money, you be content getting 10 paisa or 1 rupee. Maybe 10 paisa is big enough. And last, I would say, from attachment to detachment. Idina mamam is the core word. That is what I call SAR, or at the core of Gita. It's not mine. This is what Lord Krishna told Arjun in Jyotisar. That's the place where Kurukshetra happened. When Arjuna was saying, Why should I fight? You know, they are all mine. They are my relatives. He said, it's not yours. There is nothing in this world that was yours. You came alone, you will go back alone. So you do what is required. That's live in the present. And the present is, if you don't go on them, they will go on you. So you don't bother what's going to happen. And I think that's the core of entrepreneurship as well. Why did I start with saying Tata started trading vegetable oils or cotton? That's how Reliance started. They were also, Vimal was one of their first retail products. It's no longer there. Wipro started with trading of vegetable oils, no longer there. Godrej started with, I think they were making keys and locks and all that. Today they do everything else. You know, right from salt to all that we are talking. Adani Enterprises we talked about. They again started in trading. Today they are a multi-billion conglomerate, okay. So why I am saying don't get attached to your product or your service. You have to get detached to it. When you go to market, that's your idea, that's your, it's like a, you know, your extension to the world. But don't get attached. Market will reward you. Go with what your customers want from you. And get to the paying customers, not any customer. Harsh truth, it may take you 4 years, 5 years, 10 years, but get to the paying customer if you're really married to the entrepreneurship. And last piece. When we are looking at all this, entrepreneurship, when we are looking at that, and when you are looking at an exponential growth, don't look at yourself at the center of it. Keep vacating that chair fast enough. Look at people not as resources, but as people, while they are all resources for you. But look things from others' perspective and then your own. And I think that's also at the core. So when you're an entrepreneur, the first thing is you should understand things from others' perspective and then your own. I think when you imbibe yourself into that, you will see that through partnerships, through ecosystem, through detachments, through profitable growth, and through repeat customers, entrepreneurship and skills will get developed. If you don't have it, there would be enough people for you to egg on and develop that in you and in everybody else. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rajesh Sinha ji. We are running little late in this session. Now, I would like to invite our keynote speaker of this session, of this conference, who has especially come from Andhra Pradesh for this conference only, a very senior IAS officer, Dr. Karthike Anand, OSD to Minister of Finance and Skill, Government of Andhra Pradesh, who is a highly accomplished public policy professional with a strong focus on sustainable development goals. Driven by his passion for social transformation and over 18 years of experience, he has successfully led and executed high-value projects that prioritize the upliftment of vulnerable and marginalized sections of the society. His expertise spans across various ministries, state governments, and multilateral agencies, where he has played a crucial role in driving schemes and programs for sustainable development goal, education, women empowerment, livelihood creation, gender equality, poverty elimination, health and skill development. Dr. Karthike holds a master's in public policy from the Indian School of Business, Hyderabad, and has completed the executive program management from Cornell University, United States of America. A big round of applause for Dr. Karthike Anand.
Very good afternoon and Jai Hind to everyone. Janani Janma Bhumischa Swargatapi Garyasi. Mother and motherland is nothing is lesser than anything else. So I would like to remind my mom and my parents and my teachers for giving this opportunity. And I would like to thank and my deeply privileged by his invitation by Mr. Pandey, inviting me for this towards very close to my heart, a skill development, a quality skilling and entrepreneurship. Thank you, Mr. Pandey, for inviting me here, and your team for your commitment towards organizing this kind of summit to bring all the great minds together to have a brainstorming and to implement, and this is what we required at this point of time to implement the policies. When talk about quality skilling is with education. Skill is not a separate from education, it is a part of education. But when it comes to, if you see my profile, I've last 9 years, even though I don't want skill, it is following in my department. I worked in rural development. So there also skill development is there. I worked in health. There also skill development is there. Education, skill development. And now finance, and again a skill development is there. So skill development I've seen such a way, it is so important, but people are not considering that it is a part of them. The moment you take birth, the skill is, you need to have a skill. But why we are not taking the so important on it? We're not focusing on it. And people, today we blame children that they're not getting a skill, right skills. First thing is because we are not strengthening our education system. Hope you all agree with me. Can you live without electricity? So it is so difficult without electricity at this point of time, in this generation. Now I don't know about 30 years back, but the same way, with the right skills, it is so difficult to survive at this generation and at present. Same way, skill, why we are not acquiring? We tell children that acquire this skill, acquire that skill, but we are not incorporating this skill development from the childhood. You have to give skills from children, like when you, like 3 years or 4 years children only, start teaching them how to talk. We teach, but we are not giving that exactly. That we will think that skill development will come after your education of 15 years of education. No, it is from day one we need to incorporate this. So what we are saying is, when we see, we get so many profiles. Sir, inko job dila dijiye. So people will come. Recently, 2 days back, I got a reference from one of the minister. Karthik sir, can you recommend this person for this so-and-so company? I said, okay, please send minister, so we can't say no. So after talking to the person, will you able to communicate well? The answer I received from him is, manage kar dunga, sir. So before going into the organization itself, he is managing. Then what kind of skill we are expecting? How can we expect that he is going to perform? So this has to start from the day one. And it is not only students, there are parents and government. We always blame government, what government is doing, what kind of policies. Government has come up with various schemes to enhance skilling. You talk about any skill, Prime Minister, PMKUY, Pradhan Mantri Kaushalya Vikas Yojana. For rural development, we have Deen Dayal Upadhyaya Kaushalya Yojana. And many foundations, they are doing skill development activities. But still we have a huge unemployment. Many are there still not getting employment opportunities. What is the reason? They are not acquiring a right skill. See, if I want to work in aviation industry, I need to have a skill about aviation sector, correct? It doesn't mean that I will learn something, then I will try to get a job in aviation sector. Will you agree with me or not? Correct. If I have to give a presentation here, I need to get the skill to give a presentation. But here what is happening is, when we're doing a skilling also, the right matching is not happening. I am not here to talk about quality skilling in terms of what definition and all this. You all are wearing a suits and highly intellectuals are sitting here. So I am here to talk about what we are doing in Andhra Pradesh or in India in terms of a government level policy making, and what kind of entrepreneurs are going to come. So same way, we need to map the skill ecosystem such a way that industry should incorporate skill development. For example, if a company wants aviation students, like recently we had interaction with Airbus. Airbus want to train in drones. So now we don't want to give a curriculum from our own, any kind of curriculum we will train and they will get drone pilots. No, we said
Airbus will come, they will give their content. They have to give what kind of pilots they want. What is the curriculum? It is not that no academicians or someone else will start framing their curriculum. It is the company who really want customized. So we made them part of it, and they made the curriculum. They are training. Then it is easy for them to also incorporate those people in their company. So this is what actually we required. In fact, last year I've been to Europe. European countries are really required huge manpower because they have shortage of manpower. At least when you walk on the roads in India, you see small kids, many. But walk in Europe, you don't find kids. There is a huge shortage of manpower there. Ample opportunities are there. How are we going to give? We talk about Skill International. So there are opportunities are there, but in India, we can't create employment opportunities. What population we have, 150 crores. It is so difficult, but in European countries, every state, every country can adopt one state of India because they need India, because we have young 19 to 35 years manpower is there, which can give another 40 years employment opportunities. And also we talk a few things, we talk only creating employment and jobs and all this. Why are we talking about jobs? We need to talk about entrepreneurs. No, we all are, India is like, we all are entrepreneurs only. But when you see in the class, when you ask, a teacher asks, what do you want to become in life? They'll say, one says, I want to be an IAS officer, one I want to be an IPS officer, doctor. How many in the class will say that I want to be a businessman or I want to be a businesswoman? How many are actually really saying this? How many parents encourage for this? So this is what is a thought, we have to give a thought on this. And here, it is not that we came here summit and we listen everything and we leave everything will go. Now start making entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs can create employment opportunities. If we start thinking about creating employment or jobs, we are not going to be successful in this world. We have to create entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs only can create employment opportunities. So when I was working in the district, I started working on it. We get so many profiles, job, employment. Working in a district, sir, outsourcing thoda job dila dijiye. My Hindi is not that great. Please forgive me. Please accept my sincere apology for my language for Hindi. So we started working on entrepreneurs. See, there's a bakery. So we identified a person who can really have entrepreneurial skills. So we guided him and we mentored him. We gave funding from the government. That person now giving an employment of almost 25 to 30 members in that district headquarters. So this is what we start doing as small things. I don't want to make big entrepreneurs. At least everyone, like we will see street vendors, like tiffin centers, small entrepreneurs are coming. How are we going to handle these people? That is most important. When we do skilling, skilling also will give beauty and wellness. So you know how beauty and wellness is important at present. So we started giving beauty and wellness trainings for the children, and it is not that we can place them in employment like in 8,000, 9,000 salaries, correct? But some people are coming, sir, I want to start a beauty and wellness center in my village. So where I can give another 10, 15 villages can come together and we can start. So it's a good thought. So what we have to do for them? We need to handhold them, we need to guide them. So we started doing this, and we now in a district where I've worked earlier, almost you find 10 to 15 kind of beauty and wellness centers where we train them. We're handholding these people from last 2 years, and these people have created almost 100 plus employment opportunities for these people. We can't know, everyone can't bring them to a city like a Mumbai or bigger cities and give them employment opportunities, correct? So we need, see basically entrepreneurs, who will become entrepreneurs? A person who can solve a problem. Entrepreneurship will come only with a problem, correct? In a village, if you want to be an electrical problem is there, we need electrician. So the entrepreneur will come with the problem. So who can resolve these problems, he will become an entrepreneur. It is not that easy to become an entrepreneur. You talk about Flipkart today, talk about Oyo, talk about Mama Earth. All these people has become entrepreneurs by getting understanding a problem, then they started creating a solution for this. So entrepreneur is think that it is like it looks very nice. Now today we are talking about big people, but their journey is like, when you see Everest, it's so easy, beautiful. It looks, when you start climbing, then you see the challenges. The same way entrepreneurs, continuously they face the problems, but they need dedication, commitment. They can be successful only with a vision. The vision which drives them to become entrepreneurs, they themselves create a lot of opportunities. So this is what we need to do to create entrepreneurs. When you entrepreneurs in state and government also, we need to, whoever comes ahead, we should put mentors for these people to become like startups. We have startup ecosystems, startup incubation centers, but small entrepreneurs in district level, whoever is interested, we need to mentor them and guide them. And for them, finance is the biggest problem. Basically, whoever wants to become a businessman or businesswoman, they think, sir, मेरे पास पैसा नहीं है. बहुत सारे idea है, पैसा नहीं है. I feel, if I think many business people are here, they should tell me, money is not, capital is not important. Dam chahiye. Guts. Even employers like me and I think whoever is working, we don't have guts. But entrepreneurs, they have guts to start something. They are the people who take challenges, who actually take risk. A businessman who takes risk, he will be a successful person. But the risk, whoever don't take, no, we expect that now month 31st, we need to get salary in my account. But entrepreneurs, they don't think all this. They take risk and they'll give us salaries or they'll give employment to many of the people. So that is what an entrepreneur required. Entrepreneurs are required actually. So when you're talking about in a state like now, every state is working on it. Might be thinking that government is not doing for entrepreneurs and all this. Yes, we are doing it. But at the same time, we need support from you, all of you also. You should be part. See, this is our country. It is not someone else, correct? I just give you a small example. I was traveling Europe last 2 weeks back. I think 2-3 weeks back, last month, I met Mr. Omkareshwar. So he connected me with someone in Berlin. I was traveling in a train, a bullet train, which is actually more than 250 kilometers per hour speed it is going on. I saw there's a seat which is torn. So I was thinking that, okay, I was actually looking at that seat. There's one person who came immediately, took his needle and started stitching in that seat. I was shocked because he doesn't want anyone to blame his country that no, the seat is torn. That is what is a commitment. That is what a dedication towards a nation. So we have to have the discipline towards that. See what Abdul Kalam said once, nation should be like India and citizens should be like Indian. This is what now today everyone talks about India. We are in such a place that now we are almost, it's not number 1, number 2, number 3. We are unique. We are in a different place. See, Rajinikanth, we talk about southern superstar. When you talk Rajinikanth, we don't say he's a number 1 or a number 2 or number 3. He is a different level. So India also is a different level. For that, we all have to work together to get the skilling. People help them, children. We always say that, no, you're not doing this, you're not doing that. Children also have to get this technical skills. Now, technical skills, when you're talking, they have to advance. In 25 years back, we have typing, correct? But today, we have computers. But whoever adopt the new technology, they will survive. Today, if I talk about whatever I studied 20 years back, it can be helpful if I add the new age technologies to life. Then only I can go further. The same way, we need to guide children. We need to get many people in terms of skill ecosystem, get that industry relevant courses. More industry relevant courses where people can use and they can survive and they can get a gainful employment opportunities. At the same time, I request industry also to be part of skill ecosystem. Please meet all, wherever it is required, government departments, and understand them, what exactly they required, and be a part of it. Like example, I'll tell you, we have Kia Motors in Andhra Pradesh. We thought Kia is, everyone is doing a CSR. We don't want to ask any money from any corporate company. We said, we will give you one industrial technical institute. You adopt this training center and you show the results. They were so happy. And we made that ITI, see when you see ITIs and all this in government ITIs, you see old, very old infrastructure will be there. What you are expecting from children? When you're talking about a skill, you give them skill, correct? If I have to talk to my daughter, if I have to teach her something, I need to give latest equipment. Then she can learn. So when we go to ITS and governments, some government schools and all this, we have a old, same 20 years, 30 years back, whatever they bought, the same thing. But we need to upgrade. So get that new technology. For that, we require corporate people to come into this, and it's our responsibility, correct? Part of it, and take this next generation. See, today we are happily sitting here, we're talking about everything. Before 1947, all the leaders, freedom fighters, they struggled a lot. Because of them, today we are talking. Now what are we going to give for next generation? So we have to take the responsibility. It is not that Mahatma Gandhi has taken responsibility or Ambedkar or Subhash Chandra Bose. What are we taking now? What are we going to give for next generation? So what we have done is Kia started doing it. Now they gave complete curriculum. They are training them. They are placing them in the organizations. So it has become an industry complete equipment also. We have changed it to new, it is called modernization. The same way, polytechnic colleges. So when we strengthen this vocational training, you see the data also, only 5% to 6% of people actually getting vocational training in India. Why? When it comes to Germany, they have a dual education system. 57% of people are getting vocational training in Germany. And 96% of vocational training is getting by South Korea. Why only 5%? This is what we need to think. This is actually, it should be a brainstorming session for us and discussion point for us, thinking about on this and coming out for solutions. When are we going to reach the 95% or 100%? So that is the reason we started working on modernization of ITS and polytechnic college in the state of Andhra Pradesh, strengthening it. So getting a new technology. Even 2 years back, I've been to one place to check that automobile engineering courses. Automobile engineering course in this college where I went, they're teaching automobile engineer which is a car which is very old. We were unable to open the door, rusted screws and everything. What are we going to teach from that? So if you want to train your children or the students to give them a skill, you need to keep the right vehicle, correct? A latest vehicle, teach them. Then they'll acquire skills. So we are saying that children are not advanced, children are not getting a technology or new skills because we are not giving them. Give them right skills, encourage them, and at the same time teach them discipline. That will give them a strength. If you're saying that we are patriotic people for the country, be disciplined and automatically become a patriotic for the nation. So this is what we're doing in a state. And entrepreneurs also, we are getting women entrepreneurs, making them and understanding them. And more than that, when we talk about entrepreneurs, we need to say that will they take risk, but government also we are giving that money for them, funding. The same way, startup incubation centers, we are doing it. So many startup incubations are coming from Andhra and Telangana. I think if you're not visited, you can visit in a T-Hub in Telangana. You will get an idea. And you can see in our Andhra University, we have incubation centers. So it's not the government is not doing it. So many things we are doing it. But when corporate companies will come ahead, we can do our wonders. So with this, I would like to end this thing. If any have questions, you can shoot questions. But I'm not a person like, Mr. Tejwant is like an aggressive batsman who actually came and you just flooded with the questions and all this. So I spoke whatever we have done in Andhra and Telangana and what we can do in the future. The future is with the generation, only to give them a skill from the day one. And when you can give the skill from day one, that skill only can help them. When you talk about soft skills also, we are not teaching the soft skills. And I believe in my schooling, my teachers are actually really experienced, and they taught me so many things where I can now stand in front of you. The credit goes to my parents and my teachers. But nowadays, when you come to teachers today, top business schools and all this is different. But other schools, how many teachers can have that actually skill? So skill is a self-explanatory, and they have to acquire it on themselves. It is not that someone else will come and tell you that, no, you acquired the skills. You always self-discipline, self-learning will always give a skill. If I have to give a better presentation, it is not someone else will tell. I have to acquire, I have to learn. The same way, skills also for children, it is the same way. And also, once again, I request any industry people from here, or this platform is for that, quality skilling. We can come, and you corporate people should come here, and they should be participate of the government. And always officers like me or more others, they are taking a support from corporates. We are approaching government corporates. In fact, you see, I'm very active in LinkedIn. I approach most of the corporate people, and I'll talk to them. And whoever is there, I give them time also. I will talk to them what they want to do, how they want to do. It is not one person can change it. We can't change, but at least we can improvise it. So we are in the stage. In fact, in Andhra, we are also doing it. Every vocational trainings, I said, we have 175 member of legislative assemblies are there. To get this skilling, every member of legislative assembly, we have a skill ups, a low level skilling, activities we are doing it. And a member of parliament constituency, we have a 26 skill colleges are there, where high-end skills, and one skill university. Why we are working is because we have ample opportunities are there. If someone says there are no employment opportunities, I don't agree, because I have market survey with me. There are ample opportunities are there, but there is a gap between industry and the same time that employee and employer. So that gap, we are trying to bridge the gap between that both, but still we are not doing it because we are not understanding that entire different variation. If you understand the variation, if you can bridge the gap, then we don't be unemployment. And with the unemployment, and we start focusing on creating. Our vision should be 2020 Vision India, when Sir Abdul Kalam spoke in 2000, in the year of 2000. Now we need to talk about 2050, only India should produce entrepreneurs. They can create employment opportunities for many and many of people. That should be our vision. That is what I personally believe to give my nation the coming next 30 years. So entrepreneurs, focus on entrepreneurs, give them, handhold them. People should say in the class, what do you want to become in life? Sir, I want to be a businessman. I want to be a businesswoman. I want to create in this. So, now today, everything, like, it's a problem, they're finding a solution. Earlier, we used to see only few people. People are coming, it is changing. And I think we are going to see a drastic change in next coming years. So I expect many of them will come as entrepreneurs. Further, we have to support them. And I request such a great platform he created, Mr. Omkareshwar, for getting all the intellectuals and esteemed speakers to understand the quality skilling and ecosystem. Once again, I requested him and his team to same kind of event, please organize in Andhra Pradesh. For that, whatever support we want, we would like to give him. And thank you so much. Any questions? One, but I think this is not a question, or I don't know, but still.
Help tier 2, tier 3 cities to, excel the skills. How do you see a facility for a medium-scale corporation like us? We want to cater the nation, as a part of corporate social responsibility. But how do you see an opportunity for medium and small level corporations to do the same thing what Kia is doing there in Andhra Pradesh?
So Kia has done, because it's a big organization, they have done in their level, but I think you can support your manpower, human resource, to incorporate, and it can be a part of take any place like a center of excellence, a small thing. Like, it's not that Kia is only doing it. Small local industries also coming, and they're taking a classroom. We are giving a 300 to 400 SFT place. they're establishing computer labs and they're sending their people. At the same time, I started thinking about a capacity utilization. Morning hours, we are training people. Second half, if any corporate people want in a district level, we have a well-infrastructured classrooms and the work location also. So we are giving them for working free of cost for they can operate their system. So it is not that big companies only can come, anyone come. Only we need to have a heart to do something. So take one step ahead to reach 1,000 miles.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Anyone else? Yeah, I think, see, he said that gray beard doesn't mean that old. I am not that old, but still I try to answer your question.
The thing is that I'm trying to be
Old.
pretend that I'm young.
Okay.
So like I had said in my part of Hello. In my part of the presentation, while there's no doubting that the governments, I will say central government and the state governments are going even out of the way to do things, and large and sometimes even medium and enterprises are also doing a lot. The issue really is that an entrepreneur, when you want to start, just like in sports, बेटा पढ़ लो कुछ बन जाओगे, खेल कूद में कुछ नहीं रखा. Similarly, for entrepreneur, there is no social support. There is no social support. So what can be done to do that part? If I know the younger generation because I'm teaching them and I'm interacting with them, and I keep my beard white because people like you all think I'm okay. Otherwise, I like to be like them. They don't want to work for anybody. They want to be their own master, but they're beaten down by their parents, their social circles. How does one correct that part?
That's a very tough question, but I think for this, mindset of the parent has to change.
So that's the question.
Mindset of the parents.
So how do we do that? That means the skilling is required for the parents now. It's the youngsters don't need it. We need to reskill our parents.
That is what actually we started doing in Andhra now, upskilling everyone. In fact, all the government officers, we are doing it at the same time, because as he rightly said, the moment a child takes birth, they'll say that now my son wants to be like this, he should become like this. So we will always give aspirations on behalf of someone else. So we need to think, parents has to change that, make them entrepreneurs. Why his son can't become like one Ambani or Elon Musk or Ratan Tata? They think that my son should be like this. And why parents can't think like PV Sindhu, Sachin Tendulkar and Dhoni? So this is most important. Parents' mindset has to think, they should start thinking like an entrepreneur to create. They are the people. See, new education policy also talks about this. Any policy, it has to, self-realization has to come. We have to think. See, as a parent, I also want to think like my daughter should become like an entrepreneur. Whatever support she wants, we will give her that support. And I can say that with this education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. But education with the right skill is most important weapon. This is told by the Nelson Mandela. And finally, I just want to conclude by my role model, Swami Vivekananda. Arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. This quote from Rig Veda emphasizes the importance of actually pursuing knowledge and skills. It encourages individuals to rise above mediocrity and continuously strive towards achieving their goals through education and skill development. Very well said. So it's a continuous learning. It's a continuous learning. Even today, you all actually, tomorrow also we start learning. Skill is not a full stop. It is never ending. So keep acquiring new skill and skill day by day and become entrepreneurs. I think after listening this, at least some people start thinking an entrepreneurship model. Make sure that your children become like entrepreneurs. Motivate them, encourage them, and give them support. And you also, please, industries also if someone has got entrepreneurship skills and someone want to do business, give them encouragement. Don't discourage. Let them see. Thomas Alva Edison said, he failed 1,000 times. He said very positively, he found 1,000 different ways. We should not think that I'm failed in, no. I've heard so many times, sir, I started a business, nuksan ho gaya mere ko. So that is what we should know. It happened 10,000 times he's tried, Thomas Alva Edison, and he said the positive ways is 10,000 different ways. The same way you should think like that. And thank you so much for giving this opportunity. Thank you once again, Mr. And he always thinks not himself, beyond. He thinks about humanity. He thinks about the nation. For him, his nation is first, then about himself. Thank you, Om Kalashji and his team. Jai Hind.
So, तालियां कम बज रही हैं. A big round of applause for Dr. Karthikeya Anand. I hope you all are enjoying the session. Are you enjoying? Yes or no? So raise your hands and say yes. Yeah. Thank you so much. So we have another important guest sitting in front of us, and I would like to invite him. He has a very illustrious career in the field of SME sector. Mr. Chandrakant Salunke is the founder and president of SME Chamber of India, Mumbai, and he has founded several other chambers and federations for SME sector. He represents the industry in a very, very big way. Inviting Dr. Chandrakant Salunke, kindly come on the dais, and I would request Abhishek ji to kindly felicitate him. Thank you, and I would have to invite you, Chandrakant ji, directly on the stage to say a few words. You came little late, and we are also running late, so I would request you to kindly be brief.
Good morning, friends. Good afternoon, rather. Thank you, Pandey Sahab, for inviting me at this program. Rather, it's a global forum. हम भले ग्लोबल सोचते हैं, लेकिन अभी फील्ड वर्क करने की बहुत ज़रूरत है. As my fellow speaker said about, after listening to him, you will start your own business. And I think Professor Dilip, no? And another fellow speaker set the agenda for my speech rather. All of you must be from the industry, business, profession, or startups, or maybe you are thinking to start business. It's right time to think. जैसे हमारे फेलो स्पीकर ने कहा कि बहुत सारे ऐसे सुविधाएं उपलब्ध है, उस सुविधाएं का उपलब्धि का आप फ़ायदा जब लेंगे तो मुझे लगता है ग्लोबल में हमारे एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप का डंका पिटने में, जैसे मोदी जी आज काम करे, वैसा हमारे एंटरप्रेन्योर्स की क्रेडिबिलिटी एंड क्रेडिट वर्दीनेस बढ़नी चाहिए और बढ़ती रहेगी. यही शब्द के साथ मैं कहना चाहता हूँ कि आज की डेट में एसएमई सेक्टर में अगर देखा जाए, किसी ने अभी एसएमई सेक्टर के बारे में कहा, देयर आर प्लेंटी ऑफ अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ फॉर एसएमईज. आज देखिए 2014 में स्टार्टअप इंडिया आ गया. आज स्टार्टअप्स कितने बढ़ गए आगे, कितने स्टार्टअप यूनिकॉर्न्स हो गए. एसएमई सेक्टर इज़ प्लेइंग वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल इन इंडिया, पर्टिकुलरली फॉर द एम्प्लॉयमेंट जनरेशन, एक्सपोर्ट प्रमोशन, एक्सपोर्ट कंट्रीब्यूशन, इंडस्ट्रियल आउटपुट. आज की डेट में अगर आप देखोगे तो 6.5 करोड़ जेपी मॉर्गन के बाद में